Hi, in this video I'll be showing you this. It's the Bosch BBS611GB Cordless Vacuum Cleaner, and what I want to do today is to show you around the vacuum, show you some of the features and benefits that it offers. So I'll get it unboxed, let's have a look. So now that I've got it unboxed, I'll show you around the vacuum itself. Now with this one, it has something slightly different compared to most other cordless vacuums in the fact that it has a separate battery. Now this does have quite a big advantage because normally on a cordless vacuum this can be the first thing that starts to go. So if you've had it for several years then you will find that the runtime of the vacuum starts to decrease, and for some manufacturers the cost of getting a spare battery is almost as much as the vacuum itself. But the main advantage is that Bosch on these models have actually supplied a battery with it. So if it does ever get to that stage, then it's quite an easy process just to get another battery. And with that, that will just clip on the back there like that. So it's a nice simple process. There's no screws to take out, there's nothing at all to take apart in the vacuum. You just press the button and the battery pops off. So the reason that Bosch have done this with the battery being separate is that it's part of what they call their unlimited range. And the idea is that you can actually use this battery across a whole range of different Bosch products. So when you have a look at the range, it could be, I suppose it's predominantly garden tools. So you've got things like drills, strimmers, there's a whole range of different tools and accessories that Bosch make, and they've kept this battery across a lot of the range. So the idea is that if you want to charge up the battery and then use it on something else, then you can do. With this one you get one battery. There are other models in the range as you go up in the range where you do get two batteries, which is quite good. That can be quite useful, but they've really given us one battery with this model, and it does make a difference on the price, so it does keep the price down quite a bit. But on this model, so this is part of their Series 6 range, just show you on top there. There are other models in the range, as I just mentioned. There's other ones with different batteries. They also do a Series 8 as well as you go higher up in the range. But with this one, this is the 18-volt vacuum, and this has a maximum runtime of around 30 minutes. Now what you will find is that 30 minutes is really an estimate, and it very much depends on what you vacuum in. And I know it sounds a bit bizarre, but if you're going to use it as a handheld vacuum just with the crevice tool, then you will find that you should get around 30 minutes. It also depends on the power that you've got. So just while I'm on that subject, you've got the on and off switch just here. You've got a turbo button on the top. So we'll just show you that. And when you press the turbo button, so you can see on the top that the light was flashing. That's just mainly because it needs recharging. What I do really like about this, and this is something that a lot of customers have really liked about this range of vacuums, is that the on and off switch, you don't have to keep your finger on it all the time. So whereas with a lot of competitor brands, the trigger is in a similar position, but you do have to keep your finger on it all the time. They claim that it does make the runtime last a little bit longer, and it probably does, but for some people, especially if you suffer with your hands, if you've got things like arthritis, then this feature on its own can really make a difference. So the capacity on the bin on this model is 0.3 litres. What you will find is that it's quite an easy process to empty the bin, because that's always quite an important factor. All you do is you've got a button on the top here, so you press and hold that, and then this comes apart. And then you've got the filter on the top there. So all you do is you just go and empty that into the bin. You probably can't see it, but normally in most other videos I'd normally recommend sort of washing the bin, but I'll be honest, because I can see quite a few, you probably can't see it, but I can see quite a few electrical cables in here, and it could be very easy if you do wash it to I suppose get some of the wires wet. and you don't really want to do that. So what I'd really recommend doing is to, once you've emptied it, perhaps just get a damp cloth, something like that, and just wipe it round inside just to make sure it's nice and clean. The filter itself, this is a 2-part filter. It does show you the instructions on the side on what to do. So all you do is you just twist that, and just go over to a bin. Really, ideally do it outside because it can be a messy job. Just shake it out. Again, Bosch don't recommend washing this, which is quite surprising because quite a few manufacturers have the ability to wash the filters, but it does say clearly just on the side here to just basically shake it out. So you just take it apart, shake it out, but there's a little picture of a tap with a line through it, so don't wash it. And then that just clips back on the top there, and then to put it back together you just locate it at the bottom and then it goes back together. So when you want to use it as a handheld, then that's the design that you'd stick with. But if you want to use it as a main floor vacuum cleaner, which I suppose for most people that's really what you want it for, then you get a pole and that just clips into place. To undo that, you've just got the clip on the front there, so it's a really easy design. And the main floor head, again, that just clips back in to the bottom, so it's a nice easy design, and I do like the fact that these are easy to take out. So the floor head itself, clearly it is a powered brush. You see the brush going around there. So when it comes to cleaning it, let me just take that apart to show you. Then it is an easy process. So you've got the brush along the bottom here, but for most people, every now and then you do want to take it apart to clean it. All you do is you just pull the brush out the side, and what you'll find is that you've got little channels down here. This is something that Bosch have done quite a lot on pretty much all of their cordless vacuums, so I'm glad they carried it on with this one. And I suppose that one of the advantages for having this slot is if you have got hair wrapped around it, whether you've got family members in the house or animals with hair that molts, then if it wraps around the brush, then all you do is you just get a knife or scissors, so just be really careful, and slide it along here, and it just makes life so much easier getting it out. And then to put it back in, it just slides in the side there, so you just locate it inside, and then at the top it just clips back into place there. So just make sure that's fully in, and then you're ready to go. So for most manufacturers, when it comes to the range of tools and accessories, then most brands tend to provide quite a good range. You've got things like brushes, different crevice tools, sometimes you've got motorised heads. And to be fair, a lot of the models sort of higher up in the range have got quite a good range. I'm not quite sure if the guys designing these had fallen out with the guys in the tool department, but on this model you get one tool. That's like a mini crevice tool. That does fit on here, so that fits on quite nicely, and it can fit onto the wand as well. So if you wanted to get higher up, then that can fit on as well. So I know I joke about this just having the one tool, but have a look to see what tools you actually use, because what we often find is that people have bought a cleaner and gone specifically for one with a good range of tools, and then you end up keeping the majority of them in the box and never using them. So I know I joke about it, but just have a look to see which tools you actually use, and I can almost guarantee that the crevice tool is one of the most popular ones. Sometimes the wider one, like the upholstery tool for stairs, can be useful, but just have a look, see what you actually use, and I think you'd be quite surprised. So clearly at some point you're going to need to charge the vacuum. It does come with a standard charger, so this can plug into any main socket. So a couple of ways you can charge it. The first one is just to plug it in underneath, So that just locates underneath there, so it's a nice easy way to do it. So if you want to sit it on a table or something like that, then you can do that. So just sit it on there. The other option is it does actually come with a wall bracket. So this is the wall bracket it comes with, and you will see at the back here that there is a slot. So what you can do is you can actually locate the charger at the back, and that basically means that when the vacuum itself is sitting in the bracket, I'll show you that. So that will just sit in there. So it's a nice design. It's nice and simple, nice and easy to put on the wall. So that just sits on there, and what you'll find is that if you put the charger in the back, then whenever it's on the bracket, then it will charge. So it's something that I personally recommend, because there's nothing worse coming to the vacuum and then finding that it's not charged and you need to wait for it to charge before you use it. And at the bottom of the wall bracket, you've actually got space to put the tools, or tool in this case, and all you do is you just slot that on there. But at some point, if you do decide to treat the vacuum to a spare tool, for example an upholstery tool, then you've got space to put that on the other side to keep the crevice tool company. If you're thinking of buying one of these cordless vacuums, I have provided a link below to show you where to get one at a competitive price. I hope you enjoyed this quick video on the Bosch BBS611GB cordless vacuum. Please give us a thumbs up and click subscribe on a YouTube video. Leave any comments. I do always ask for comments, whether it's good or bad, about the video. I do always appreciate feedback. If you're thinking about buying one of these, then if you've got any questions, then just leave it in the comments and I will get back to you. Or if you have bought one of these, then just let me know what you think, because I do appreciate feedback on some of the vacuums that I'll talk about. So let me know what you think about it. Thanks for watching.